Okay, hello everybody, and welcome to my assignment. Assignment 2.1. A little late, but better late than never. I apologize for that. It's been really busy in my life. But let's just cut to the chase. So for this assignment, recursion and pointers, well, I had to make two programs. One for recursion, one for unique pointers. So they can be done in one or two assignments. I decided to do them in two separate assignments. They're really small, but they do get it to the point of it. So without further ado, let's dive into the first one. Okay, so here's my first one. I was going to call it recursive jackpot because I was going to make a slot machine, but I'm really running out of time. I got to catch up all these assignments. So I decided to do something a little bit more simple, but yet still engaging and fun. And that is a random pin generator. So you can generate pin codes for various things like your phone and other things like that. So to get into this, how I did it is, well, I'm using a couple of headers. IOStream, of course, because we're basically using, C standard. So input and output. Random because I'm doing random numbers. Standard library. Oh yeah, that's for random numbers too. Actually, I could take that out. Windows.h because I'm using some system calls like clear screen and pause, and then string because we're using strings. So we have a using namespace standard here. I got a couple globals, a boolean that's gonna pretty much control the game loop. A counter, that's how many times this is going to be recursive. That's going to call upon itself 4 times. And then random for random numbers. And then I have 3 functions in this game, no classes. Like I said, I made it really simple. I've got an intro function, a recursive pin function, and an end game function. So the main loop, while play again equals true, then we're going to go ahead and jump into intro. And then after that, we're going to return 0. So intro, this function is basically the entire function of the game, to be honest with you. It is a recursive pin number generator. So you can generate 4 digits, 0 or 1 through 9. And then if you want to generate a number when you can, or you can just leave. So here we go. So we take in a character, yes or no. It can either be the big Y or the little y, or the big N or the little n. So if it's Y, then we call recursive pin. Okay, and I'll show you how this works in a minute. And then after all of that's done, it says your pin is finished, and then it pauses. If it's no, then it ends the game. End game is basically we're just setting the play again Boolean flag to false. So here's the recursive function that I wrote. So we're going to be generating 4 different numbers randomly. So how I do this is I seed it with time. We call random. We randomize a number by 8, modulus 8, plus 1. That'll give us 1 through 9. Then we basically spit it out. But we spit it out left to right, not from top to bottom. This sleep command I have in here, yeah, well, I needed to pause it to make it look like, it was, it just works better when you pause these numbers, otherwise it comes out too fast. And then we decrement the counter, and we say this is the recursive part. While the counter is greater than 0, we're going to keep calling this function within inside of itself. So there's your recursiveness right there. Pretty easy. It's straightforward, but it does demonstrate recursiveness in the basic sense of the value. And I think it'll be good enough to get a good grade on it. So let's go ahead and run this, and I'll show you how this works. Okay, so here it is. Recursive pin generator. Generate a random pin number. Would you like to generate a pin number? Yes. So there you go. As you can see, it's generating 4 numbers. It says your pen is finished. I might have spelled that wrong. I'm sorry. But anyway, so press any key to continue, and it'll jump right back into it. So if you want to do it again, yes. Gives you different pen number. And that's it. And if no, then it breaks out of the program. So that's for recursion. Okay. So now I need to get into the unique pointers. So basically a unique pointer is basically, well, it's the updated version of your raw pointer, except that it has garbage control. So you don't have to worry about deleting it, which I've seen happen quite a lot, especially in the professional field. I see it every day pretty much where, people are deleting pointers and it causes a memory leak and they get bugs. And it is very true. So anyway, I wrote this really, really simple. With one caveat, I am having a little bit of a problem with this program, but I didn't want to get too much into it because I have a lot more to do with these other assignments. And I'm trying to get everything caught up here. So these pointers do work, but I'll explain what else I wanted to do and how it wasn't working. But in all intents and purposes, this program is working. So again, IO stream memory, that's for your smart pointers, Windows.H, because we are doing some system calls. Namespace standard, again, we have a boolean to do the game state. And I have one function called personal data. That's it in this thing. So it's pretty simple. So we have 5 unique pointers: first name, last name, employee number, pay amount, and payday. So basically, I was trying to make basically a small little database here that would store these numbers, and it works up into a certain point. So we have an integer called choice, and then we have a bunch of strings, because I'm using strings to print out the stuff. And then basically it gives you some information, and then it tells you to select a number, and then from that it goes through a list of choices. Depending on your choice, it will do certain things. Okay, so let's run the program and I'll show you where I'm at with it. It works. So here we go. So personal info. Okay, so let's do this. We'll input our first name. Enter your first name, Jeff. First name is Jeff. It's stored at this address. So we dereference the pointer and then we get the address of the pointer. Okay? And basically we do that all the way down. So there's your last name. There's the address for that. Employee number. There's the address for that. Hold on. Pay amount, say 1500. 06FEF74. Pay frequency. I will say weekly. 06FED44. Okay, so the memory is updating. I was a little worried there because they seem kind of coincidentally almost the same thing. But okay, so yeah, so as you can see, it gets the information, we can dereference it, we can get the address, and then we can end the program. But before I do that, there's something I wanted to tell you. So I am not one to be avoiding problems, but I am having a little bit of a problem with this. The problem is I wanted another if statement that would display everything out. And when I did it, it wouldn't display anything when you dereferenced any of that stuff. And I think it's because I'm doing this on a local level. But I'll work on it. As of right now, though, it works for what it needs to do, and it demonstrates unique pointers, which I think is the main goal of this exercise here. So now the only thing left to do is to end the program. And there we go. So that's my presentation, guys. I hope you like it. Sorry it's late. Like I said, it's been a madhouse over here. And yeah, if you like what you see, and if you know the drill, if you like what you see and you think it's worth it, please give me an A, because I like my 4.0 grade point average and I'd like to keep it. Anyway, guys, have a wonderful time, and thank you for understanding for me being late. I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.